You're listening to Four Things to Know, a WCCO daily news podcast.
Today is Monday, June 15th. I'm Maria Lisignoli.
I'm Johnny Kahner. Thank you for listening and watching Four Things to Know today.
Our top story today. Sunday marked 1 year since the deadly attack on Minnesota state lawmakers. Early in the morning of June 14th, 2025, a gunman first shot and severely injured State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette. Their daughter Hope was also shot at, but was not physically injured. About an hour and a half later, that same gunman would shoot and kill former Speaker of the House Melissa Hortman, her husband Mark, and their dog Gilbert. Governor Tim Walz reflected on that day and the change in the year since.
I don't think you could have imagined that this would happen. It came close to breaking me and certainly changed how I see things.
While speaking at an event in Bloomington highlighting police recruitment, Senator Amy Klobuchar took time to recognize the day.
I most remember what her kids said right after she was killed, and that was, do something good. Do something good for Melissa and Mark. Something big or something small, and that's what we're reminding everyone to do this weekend.
Neighbors also turned out to honor the Hortmans on Sunday. A woman in their neighborhood encouraged everyone to put out candles or even a sign in their memory. Cindy Hill organized yard signs to honor her neighbors last year when the attacks happened. Yesterday, the signs were back, and she also encouraged people to put out candles in their memory. She said she felt like she needed to do something, adding she wanted everyone to know just how much they were loved.
This was something that really touched us by her being a neighbor and then also by her being so very active in the community. As I tell people, she was ours first before we shared her with the world and with the state.
Hill adds Melissa was a great advocate for youth in their neighborhood. She would help kids with college applications or even reference letters. And for number two, Johnny, we're continuing to talk about all the changes that have happened in the last year.
Yeah, Maria, let's go to the state capitol now. There are now new security checkpoints at 4 different entrances.
It was easy. It's not as extensive as the airport. I didn't have to empty my pockets of my coat. I didn't have to take different things out like I go to a lot of sports games, and you have to do more to prepare for that.
That was Peg Longquist from Egan. People with a valid permit to carry a gun inside the building can still do that. The Minnesota legislature also passed millions in funding to create a dedicated protective services unit. That unit is part of the Capitol security team and will be used to provide personal protection for lawmakers facing credible threats. Also approved, paying for lawmakers to enhance their home security, but there is still some unease.
It really is a loss of innocence. You know, the place that you're supposed to feel safest suddenly feels vulnerable, and you notice all the vulnerabilities.
That was State Representative Athena Hollins, and the last measure passed this session is also a big one. It's another bill championed by Senator John Hoffman, and it makes it a felony in Minnesota to impersonate a peace officer. Hoffman was shot by a man dressed as a cop we now know was Vance Belter.
When I answered the door on June 14th, I did so because of the trust. And I never want another person in this state to have that trust shattered. And with today's bill, Mr. President, we're making sure it never happens again.
Number three, 3 people are hurt after a shooting in St. Paul. The shooting happened just before 9 o'clock last night. St. Paul police received a call about gunfire on Cayuga Street. Officers arrived and they found a man shot in the leg. He was taken to Regents Hospital for treatment. Police say a 14-year-old boy was also shot in the leg and another man was shot in the hand. All 3 are expected to be okay. We're told early information suggests a basketball game was going on before shots were fired. So far, no arrests have been made.
Number 4 today, if you travel Highway 65 up in Blaine, listen to this. Today, a big construction project is now underway. It promises a safer and smoother drive in the Northwest Metro, but there's plenty of work ahead before it all gets done. Barrett Leone was in Blaine to break down what drivers need to know.
This project is set to transform and reshape the highway to make it safer, improve mobility and traffic flow. Excuse me. And right now, the crews are just laying the work for the ground, laying the groundwork for the construction work ahead. Now, this particular stretch is between 97th and 125th. And this project is going to transform that stretch of road. The transformation should turn the road into this. Bridges will eventually carry the highway over cross streets with roundabouts below. MnDOT says it's an effort to make Highway 65 safer and keep traffic flowing more smoothly. Today, crews are relocating utilities, widening parts of the highway, and building temporary crossovers to help keep traffic moving during construction. And that means drivers should expect occasional lane closures and side street detours. Now, many people do consider this stretch of road one of the more dangerous drives here in Minnesota because of all of the stop and go. And MnDOT says that this project will improve safety.
Maria, and honestly, it feels like this construction season is the worst that I've seen. And all the work needs to be done. I don't mean worst in a bad way, but the most construction.
Of course. Oh, there is so much construction. And for 4 years out in Blaine, that's a long time.
$170 million.
Wow, yeah. Hopefully, things go smoothly there and makes the road a little more smooth as well.
Absolutely. Those are the 4 things to know today. Let's check it now on our next weather forecast.
Hi, I'm next weather meteorologist Lisa Meadows. As we head into tonight, we're down to 57, bringing a rain chance overnight tonight, and then we will kick out pretty fast tomorrow. Tomorrow, a mainly dry day with a high temp of 74.
And now, here's more to know.
Authorities allege the driver in a fatal crash in White Bear Lake last week had a blood alcohol content more than 3 times the legal limit. According to officials, the White Bear Lake Police Department and several other law enforcement agencies were called to a crash between a car and a motorcycle near Highway 61 and Highway 96 around 8:30 p.m. Wednesday. There, officers found 31-year-old Dana Lucker Milan of Stillwater, and she was injured. She was taken to a hospital nearby, but later died. 63-year-old Robert Marines Rodriguez was initially arrested on suspicion of driving while impaired and later charged with criminal vehicular homicide. According to the charges, Rodriguez told troopers he was turning left onto Highway 96 and had a yellow arrow and did not see the motorcycle. Court documents state that Rodriguez's eyes were bloodshot and watery. He performed poorly on sobriety tests and had poor balance. The charges also state that he had a .27 blood alcohol content level at the time. Court records show Rodriguez was scheduled to make his first court appearance on Friday. According to online records, he was convicted of DWI in 2022 and sentenced to probation. In that case, he had a BAC of .28.
A Hawley man is facing 18 charges after prosecutors say he shared hundreds of explicit images and videos online of a female family member and her 7-year-old daughter. According to a criminal complaint, the 37-year-old man allegedly posted sexual images, videos, and AI-generated deepfakes of the family member victim in dozens of Kick-Chat groups and shared her personal information as well. He did this all without her consent. Investigators say the case began with a cyber tip involving sexually explicit photos and conversations about the victim's 7-year-old daughter. The man faces 17 felony counts related to non-consensual sharing of private sexual images and 1 gross misdemeanor obscenity charge.
Today, residents of St. Paul will have a chance to weigh in on the city's financial future. City leaders say they're facing an estimated $26 million budget gap heading into these public engagement sessions. Mayor Klobuchar and the city are hosting events, and each session will focus on one of the mayor's different priorities. Today's meeting is at the Frogtown Community Center. It is running from 4 to 5:30 p.m. All are welcome to attend. Look for other meetings as well as updates online.
Here's a fun story today. North St. Paul dug up a blast from the past. After 50 years underground, the city finally unearthed their time capsule. And if you're asking yourself why, cities actually use time capsules as methods to communicate with future generations. It happened over at the North Star Museum of Boy Scouting and Girl Scouting. However, we won't be able to see all of the items in the capsule today because they will be officially revealed on June 25th at a 70s-themed retro reveal party. Now, that will be held at the North St. Paul Historical Society building, and if you want to attend, there will be music, disco dancing, and a 70s costume contest.
I watched them pull this time capsule out of the ground this morning, and it was crazy. It's like a 4 foot tall, 2 feet in diameter, and it was like filled with things wrapped in plastic
A
bags.
lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. They kept pulling it out, but it was full of water too, and like mud and stuff. So they obviously 50 years ago didn't protect it as well as they needed
How
to.
deep? Do you know how deep it is underground?
I mean, I think maybe a couple feet, not really, but it was a huge capsule. So they had a lot of stuff, and I hope that it made it, you know.
Absolutely.
I'm sure it did.
It'll be fun to see what's in there. I mean, from the 70s, that is completely foreign to me.
I mean, both of us went around. I have no idea what was even cool in the 70s.
No clue.
Tupperware? I don't know. That was like the first thing that came to my mind.
I have no idea,
Disco,
honestly. Yeah. The people listening to us right now are
probably like
millennials.
Those little kids. Yeah. Well, that should be cool. Yeah. In about 10 days, they'll have that big reveal party. It's always fun. And I love a theme, 70s. Okay, this is also really cool. A new outdoor venue in Minnesota is getting ready for its big grand opening next weekend.
This is exciting.
The Mystic Lake Amphitheater. It's right next to Canterbury Park in Shakopee. It's a state-of-the-art venue and has space for like 19,000 fans.
That's a ton. I'm going out there to see Chris Stapleton at the end of July.
At the end of July?
Can't wait.
Oh, that's so cool. I mean, they have more than 40 acts already listed for the summer. And so, yeah, you got in on those tickets right away.
Oh, it's going to be so fun. I've driven by it. It looks really cool. And we don't have like a bunch of outdoor spots. You know, most of our
big
concerts.
Amphitheaters.
They're in St. Paul. They're at Target Center. So this will be really cool.
Or Huntington Bank.
That's a good one for outside.
It is outdoors, but it's still like a stadium.
Totally. This
not
is
an
built,
amphitheater.
built for music.
Exactly. And so it opens next weekend. Their inaugural show is next weekend, and it's full of like Minnesota-based artists, which is awesome. But there's also later on this summer, Bob Dylan is playing a show there.
They have a big lineup for this summer. It's pretty cool.
It's crazy. And promoters like Josh Lacey with Live Nation say this venue will be a big draw for acts that are planning to tour.
There's more shows coming to town than ever before. There's a lot of artists who specifically plan amphitheater tours, you know, so they design their production around it, they design their set lists around it. That is their plan for the summer, and so it's absolutely an incredible new option for artists when they come plot a visit to the Twin Cities. And yeah, a lot of these shows that are coming through would not have come here otherwise.
So, Johnny, I was talking about that all Minnesotan lineup for next Saturday, June 20th. Well, tickets are available right now, and they're just $20.
Cheap.
right?
Hopefully the weather is going to cooperate
Oh, that
too.
that would be great. You can get those tickets and other tickets at mysticlakeamp.com.
Let's get to some sports headlines. We are less than a week away from the Special Olympics. The USA Games are coming here to Minnesota, Maria, and the torch, it's named the Flame of Hope. It arrived in the state over the weekend, and it's here after continuing to travel across the entire country, and it will be making stops all over Minnesota this week, and we, of course, are tracking the torch's travels. The first stop is tomorrow up in Duluth. Then on Wednesday, you can see it in Hibbing, Brainerd, and Alexandria. Thursday, several stops as well. It will head down south, start in Watertown, go to Rochester, then to Red Wing, and then it will end up back in the metro in Bloomington. And Friday, it stays here. So if you want to check it out, over in Stillwater first, then St. Paul, and then this weekend, Saturday, it's in Blaine. You can take that new highway. Or not yet, I guess.
Not yet, yeah.
And then it'll end up in Minneapolis before the grand opening ceremony Saturday night at Huntington Bank Stadium.
There you go. Oh, that's awesome. It'll be really fun to track that. I know we'll have reporters there throughout the entire Olympic Games and bring you the latest.
The Lynx host Portland tonight at Target Center. That's a 7 p.m. tip-off. The Lynx, they've had a great start to the season.
Really, really great.
Absolutely. 10-3 overall. It's tied for the best record in the league. Have you caught any of their games so far?
I've seen bits and pieces of it. Didn't they just lose for the first time in like 8 games?
I don't know. I just know Olivia Miles is like the next superstar. I've heard about that a lot.
Yeah. So, hopefully tonight things go well for them at home.
And the Twins, they begin a 3-game series tonight. They are down in Texas. That's a 7 o'clock first pitch.
It's time to take a breath with your Daily Bright Spot.
A Minnesota girl got a role in her local play, and some say she was destined for it. Listen to this, Johnny. In Thief River Falls, they're performing The Sound of Music this summer. You know The Sound of Music,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
It's a classic. And 7-year-old Pfeiffer Steer decided to audition just on a whim, and she landed the part of Marta. Now, Marta is one of the kids, of course, in the Von Trapp family. But the destiny part, Her grandmother, Debbie Turner, actually played Marta in the iconic 1965 film.
That is crazy.
The crazier part, Johnny, is that the family says they tried to keep the connection a secret and they only revealed it after she got the part.
I said, well, here's the deal, Danae. No one can know. I don't want anybody to know that she is Marta's granddaughter.
And on top of that, Johnny, directors of the show say they weren't aware of the connection until after they cast her.
So they wanted to...
Fate.
Fate, absolutely. And they wanted the audition to be like no bias or anything.
The parents, right?
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah, just, earn it.
Even
it
to
like
their own kid, they
crazy.
were like, we're not going to tell them that her grandmother was in this famous movie, which I actually didn't know a Minnesotan was in that movie.
I had no idea either.
That's really cool.
That I remember like the scenery from that movie.
Oh, that movie is a classic. I have a Sound of Music connection.
Yeah, let's hear it.
My name is Maria.
Yep.
After Maria from The Sound of Music.
Oh my gosh, you're named after, wow.
Because my parents were in Austria on a Sound of Music tour, like exactly 9 months before I was born. And so they made that connection and they were like, you know what? Let's name her Maria.
That is a great story. We're going to have to get you out to this show. I mean, you should do a story out there.
That would be really
Or
cute,
real.
actually. I love that. Yes, a little social media post. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, well, Johnny, it's good to be back with you.
I know. It's
been
great
like
to
a
hear you
week.
again.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
You've been busy, though.
I've been busy doing the morning show. But it's great to be back on the podcast. 4 Things to Know. Thank you so much for listening and watching on YouTube. With Johnny Kahner, I'm Maria Lisignoli, and we're here with the news you need every weekday afternoon by 3 o'clock.
Listen to 4 Things to Know, a WCCO daily news podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.
Love podcasts? Love Minnesota?
Check out the WCCO podcast studio lineup.
Hear the top stories of the day with 4 Things to Know.
Discover top female athletes and teams from around the state on Women in Sports.
Dive into stories about faith and belief, from your local leaders to your neighbors next door, with bigger than belief.
Stay in the know on the go with the WCCO Podcast Studio. Go to WCCO.com/podcasts.